Good day to each and everyone. I am Anne-Marie Tubig.
I am Patricia Ann Cortez.
I am Caril Silva.
I'm Catherine Joy Sigala.
I am Jander Conti.
My name is Rainier Juan Pangilinan Marquez.
And we are the Group 2 from DSHM 3B. We are here to discuss the myth of globalization of Peter Alfandary. Please watch and understand. The myth globalization of Peter Alfandary. Alfandary started off his presentation on personal note thinking about himself and his fascination with culture differences. Culture is the main topic of Alfandary's speech and how each one differs for the next, but overall, Alfandary communicated his point well. It was not true, and it left me thinking about how visiting a country outside the US.
What does Peter Alfandary means with the difference of communication? Why do we have to consider communication beneficial in communicating in the global world? He means that everywhere you go, we can suffer cultural shock. The best described as the feeling of disorientation that an expat felt when they went for the first time to another country. Communication is beneficial in communicating in the global world. For us to understand our differences, we need to learn how to understand and accept others even though we are literally different to one another. Every one of us are different to one another, just like Peter Alfandary said, based on his experience, that the directness doesn't necessarily mean rudeness. We just have to learn to accept and learn to communicate to one another.
React to directness does not mean rudeness in the context of culture. This presentation provided an interesting notion that I found interesting and relevant personally. Directness does necessarily mean rudeness. The presenter was speaking to an overall idea that globalization does not mean the destruction of separate cultures. Individuals should understand that each person looks through different eyes and lenses. Based on their cultural upbringing, I found this interesting as it can be easy to associate globalization with the integration of cultures leading to a single village. This presentation outlines and pinpoints the importance of cultural variables that exist in a global economy. Personally, this means that these cultural variables are something that I must be wary of as my career progresses in the age of globalization. My cultural intelligence will allow me to communicate and manage all of my diverse employees successfully. An understanding of these different cultures means that I will know when directness will not necessarily mean rudeness.
What is time and why it is essential? Time is how shall I put in the guideline the word become. Don't get lost if the meeting starts 20 minutes late or list what's upsetting you. I also learned about lunch and negotiation. So in some cultures like Middle of East in France and Philippines, for example, time is more valuable than money because lost money can be earned back, but the loss of time cannot be, and nothing can stop the flow of time in our lives. And also spend with time with family because sometimes we don't know if when it's gone. Time is one of mysterious forces in the universe. Time plays significant role in our lifetime, help us make a good habit of structuring our daily lives. If you understand the value of time, you can gain experience and develop skills over time. Always remember this, that time is very important than money because the time is very precious. No one can change this?
Is there really a global village? Why and why not? According to Peter Alfandri, he believes that the idea that there's a global village in myth. There is no single village. If there are many villages on our globe, we talk about global warming, global economy, global crisis, global communication. But village culture still reigns supreme. I am not making any value judgment when I say this is, but I believe we need to stop believing in the geopolitical force globalization. We must remember no very easy is that misunderstand. And yes, that global village exists. The word has become a global village is more ways than.
What does it mean, living in the paradoxical times? Discuss its two pillars. We live in paradoxical times and what I call the paradox of 21. The word of comments. As a lingua franca of the world, the second is our implacable and total trust in digital communication. Both lead to what is known as an intercultural dilemma. The belief that English is so widely spoken and why it's so easy to communicate that really understand each other, but we sit in boardrooms British, American, Chinese, Russian, French, after negotiating English, but we always understand each other, but often not we interpret subjectively. We jump to conclusion, we see the world through eyes and lenses. Designed to correct our vision and not to other people, we stereotype. We also think and react every quickly. And the question we might want to ask ourselves is, we even talk enough? We send 100 billion business emails every day.
What is the cultural intelligence? Do we need it? Why and why not? My belief is simple that we need to make cultural intelligence a part of our education system at all levels. It has become a cornerstone that we have to teach in our homes, we have to teach in our school, university, business school, houses of worship, community center, and in every village our children need it. You and I need it, and there is also a certain idea. Maybe our politicians and our leaders also need a strong dose of cultural intelligence. Yes, that is a call arm if you want us own it to ourselves and we own it to each other. You know what, dream and believe that if we make the teaching of cultural intelligence at all levels one part of the education system.
Is there really a myth in globalization? When we say globalization, in the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world economies, culture, and etc. While myth is symbolic narrative usually of unknown origin and that is part traditional, that relates actual event and that is special associated with religious belief.
Globalization is a fact because of technology, because of unintegrated global supply chain, because of change in transportation.
Globalization encouraged many companies to specialize, increase their capital, improve their research and development efforts, and help them innovate. It provides more employment opportunities, especially in the export and import sectors.
Without globalization, there would be a closed system. A closed system meaning we not know what was going in other countries. This also means no sharing of inventions and discoveries.
Why globalization important? Globalization changed the way nations, businesses, and people interact. Especially, it changed the nature of economic activity among nations, expanding trade, opening global supply chain, and providing access to the natural resources and labor markets.
And yes, this is happening now in our world.
Thank you for watching. We hope that you've learned something.